and welcome to our Christmas video with Janet and Maureen. We're going to show you some quick tips and ways of using up leftover turkey. So we're going to start with Maureen's going to make, well, it's chicken actually, but if you have leftover turkey, it's a really good way of using it up in an interesting way. Rather than eating, like, let's have another salad, turkey salad, or let's have a turkey sandwich. You can do this and it's a bit more interesting. So I'll hand over to Maureen. Thank you, Maureen.
Hello everybody. So we're going to make a chicken and mushroom pie, and you need a tin of mushroom soup, condensed, and a packet of puff pastry. And then you just roll it out into a round. And also, it was my daughter that told me this. It was a colleague at work. She says to Karen one day, have you ever tried when you've got a roast dinner and you've got your veg left and some meat left and a load of gravy left? She says, have you ever tried putting it into a pie? And you can do that with your Sunday roast if you want. Get a packet of puff pastry and put it into a pie. So I tried it, and yes, it was very nice.
Oh!
A few moments later.
So before all that, I was telling you about that roast dinner pie. So I did try it, and yes, it was very, very nice, and it's a meal all in one. So, and that's so simple, just with a packet of puff pastry and all what you've got left. So you just do it so it'll fit in your pie dish. And then you put your filling in.
So that is just one chicken breast, isn't it?
Yeah.
One chicken breast and a tin of condensed mushroom soup. So if you wanted to make it without leftovers, just as a chicken and mushroom pie, then one chicken breast will do a family. So it's quite economical as well. Whoops. Tell you we're a bit, can't you? Let's whip it quick.
Give me a better knife, Janet. Quite a bit left though. Won't need that much, will I? When you do it. Now, I forgot to bring my egg, and we haven't got a brush here, so I'm having to use my fingers.
They were made before brushes, Maureen, yes. So it's okay.
So just put some milk, egg really, on the edges, and then roll out the top.
If you're using puff pastry, just try and keep. If you make a mess of it and you have to re-roll it, try and layer it a little bit, because otherwise it'll not puff up just as you wanted it to. So, because puff pastry is made in layers, they call it lamination, so which will allow it to puff up. So if you do things wrong, it's no harm done. Just make sure you layer it a little bit.
And put your top on. Make sure it's well pressed down.
Try it to the side of the knife, Maureen.
Yeah, it's not. I might guess it. So she. Oh, to have good tools.
Oh, I've got them.
Is that? Oh, look at that. Far better, far better. That's all right.
I forgot to tell you that.
And then just go around the edges. And then, sorry, using my fingers. This should be egg really, but using milk. And then pop it in the oven about 180.
I would cook it higher than that, more in the puff. Yeah, at least.
Yeah. So there you go.
Because you need to get that puff straight away.
There. So about half an hour?
Yeah.
About half an hour. I'll put it on the bottom to start with, Janet.
Right, just a quick tip. If you've got pastry left on your table or your board and you're wiping down, a quick tip is just get a dishcloth with a little bit of water in and squeeze it onto that and leave it for a second, and all that pastry will come off in one wipe, more or less. Okay. Right, this one is something that a colleague told me a long time ago. If you've got unexpected guests that drop in for a cup of coffee around about Christmas time, this is a really quick way of making some mince pies, and your guests think you're absolutely wonderful. So it's just vol au vent. You can make your own with the puff pastry if you wish, but these are as good as any. Don't put them upside down, because otherwise you'll have nowhere to put your mince in. So make sure they're the right way up, and then they're just baked again in a hot oven. Okay, so we've baked our vol au vent, so just press down the inside and then it'll take your filling. Don't worry if they do that, you can always sort of collapse that side and make them straight again. Sometimes they just go a little bit uneven, but don't worry about it, they'll still eat. And then you want just a spoonful of sweet mincemeat. So that, I mean, if you were doing these at home, 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, and you've got some nice warm mince pies for your guests that drop in unannounced, as they do, and you can impress them with your quick mince pies. Oh, where have you got these from? Oh, I just bought them from Waitrose or Booths, the other posh one. Or if you're being honest, no, I just knocked them up myself. So there's nothing worse than, well, I find, you know, if you're making a lot of mince pies, rolling out and lining bun cases with pastry, it just takes forever, and these are so quick. So I'm just going to pop those back in the oven, just to warm up. It won't take long. 2 minutes and they'll be done. Right, our next one is a Yule log, a traditional Yule log. I thought I'd put this in for the children, because I know some of the children do like to have a look and make something that I've made or Maureen's made at home. So this is something that children love to do. I hated doing this at school, because you'd have like 20 to 30 children with dishcloths and chocolate buttercream, and my dishcloths were just ruined. So they were no longer nice and white, they were always brown. So it's not something I like, but I always made it because the children love doing it. So you need a Yule log cake board. These you should be able to get in the supermarkets, but I sent for this because I wasn't too sure. Or just make your own. So a piece of card wrapped in foil. And I'm going to use this one today because I want to make a sort of branch effect. So I'll not use the bought one. So if anybody wants one, just contact me and you can have it with pleasure. So, Swiss roll, doesn't matter whether it's chocolate or plain, and then you're going to cut, let me just see how long that is. So if I cut the piece at an angle, I'm going to cut a piece off there as well, and then pop that on your tray with that at the side. Let me move it that way. So as it looks, once it's covered, it'll look like there's a piece for Christmas, because I know what it's like. So, and then in here I've just got sieved, make sure it's sieved, icing sugar, because otherwise you'll have lumps in, and butter or margarine and some essence, vanilla essence, and into that shortly I'm going to put some cocoa powder to make, well, I'm going to leave a little bit out. Oops, this is the problem with icing sugar, you get it all over. So just work it gently to start with until you get your margarine and sugar mixed in together. It's like being in a cloud. But never mind. So work it gently. You can always at this stage, if it's refusing to go together, put a little bit of hot water in and that. Look, am I covered? I'm covered. And that'll work wonders. Not too much, because otherwise... I'm not doing this very well, am I? Otherwise, you'll make it too runny. In which case, all's not lost. Just put some more icing sugar in. So once it starts to come together at the bottom, you can be a little bit more vigorous with it. But I'm just a bit wary now, seeing as how I'm covered. I'll wait a little bit longer before I get cracking. So it's just be patient and it'll all come together in the end. Can I just have a little bit of hot water in a mug, Maureen? Because I'll show them people what to do if you buy one of those silly Yule logs that the outer crust comes away with you, with your buttercream. It's just a little bit of a ruse to stop it doing that.
I put a little bit of milk in it sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Never done that one.
Come on, water.
Is there something kettle or boil, Maureen?
Oh, hang on, it's coming.
Right, once you've got most of the icing sugar in, you can really... No, not just yet. Can I have a bit more in there, Maureen?
A bit more?
Yeah, about half full would be fine. Right, so now you can really cream it to soften it, and it's not going to be flying all over. I'm just going to take a little bit of this buttercream out. I want to take a little bit of buttercream out. Okay, at this point we can add, so we've got it nice and soft and creamy. I've taken some out for the ends, so that stays white, and I'm now with the sieve adding some cocoa. For this, you could use drinking chocolate if you have that at home, but it is, just be warned, it will give you a lighter colour. Don't use that if you're making buns, I wouldn't have said, because there's sugar in drinking chocolate and you alter the proportions. But for this, it's fine. Because cocoa can be quite expensive. So again, if you want some, send me an email and I'll get some to you. Okay, now again, like the icing sugar, just be careful because it'll fly. So just stir it until you get the bulk of it in. Another reason why I don't like doing Yule logs, because I get it all over.
Children will love it.
They will. Anything to get messy, yeah,
Right.
you'll love it.
Messy.
And online you can buy boxes for Yule logs. I didn't know that. You can buy boxes with a clear
So you could make one to give
pieces.
as a
You could
present.
make one as a present
Yeah.
for somebody. Your gran or somebody, they'd love it. Homemade by granddaughter or son. Wonderful. And then, so just a case of popping this on. Now sometimes your Swiss rolls, and it might do it with this, I'm not too sure. Your Swiss roll lifts a little bit when you're putting buttercream on. So we have some hot water at the ready in case it does. But I'm thinking that it happens more with chocolate Swiss rolls than plain. But you're just putting it on the body of the log. Make sure you get right down to the board. I don't think it's going to lift. If it does start to lift, dip your palette knife into some hot water and it'll just drain it off a little bit, but it'll just stop it lifting the cake. The knife won't stick to the buttercream and lift the top layer off. So right down to the base, give it a good layer, and then when you come to mark it as a log, it'll work a little bit better. Don't forget your branch, that's important. So right down to the bottom, to the board. I think I'm there. Am I? A little bit there. And on your branch. And down the other. Oh, missed a bit. Missed a bit there. Then on the other side, bring it right to the edge of your Swiss roll. Leave the ends as they are, and then you've got your circles for your rings on the log, or you can put white buttercream in. I just need to wash this. Thank you, Maureen. I'm going to put white on the ends. Now where it's been cut you might get some lifting. But just be gentle with it and you should be fine. I think I need my hot water now on this bit. You see it just stops your knife sticking to the buttercream and lifting it off. So. And then on the final end, okay. And then using a fork, cleaning your hands, because you're now full of buttercream. Good tip, have one of those by the side of you. Then you're going to mark with a fork and you're going to try and get it to resemble a log. And people might even put this on the fire, it'll look so realistic. So with a fork, just make a line, and then if you want to, you can just veer off a little bit and you can make yourself a knot in the wood. It looks even more realistic. Veer around the other way, opposite way, you see. And then just make lines so that it looks like the bark of the tree. Veer round, veer round. And then once you've got your knot in the middle, just do a couple of circles in the middle. And how realistic is that? You can't tell, can you? No. It's a log, it's a cake. And then rings of your tree, so you're going round on this one. so you can count how old your tree is. So round in a circle, and round in a circle. So there you've got one log. When I was growing up, we always had Christmas cake decorations in a tin box.
Yeah,
Did
I've
you,
still got
Maureen?
mine. I've still got
Have you?
mine.
I can't find
No,
mine.
I've still got mine.
But we always
Some of them are
had,
dead old.
we had
Dead old.
little snowmen
That's
and
right.
people on skis.
Little church. I've got
Little church, yeah. Reminiscing. So you want a Merry Christmas to all. I'm going to put my tree at the back there. These are to send for online. They weren't cheap really, but you can start your own collection of Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
Always a robin. You have to have a robin.
Yeah. Well, I've got a pillar box as
On
well.
that. Oh, nice.
With a robin on the top.
And then you can buy these at the supermarket. Any supermarket for cake break, for bun decorating. So you can put some fun things on as well. Santas and snowmen. Whatever you like, really. And then, best bit. Best bit of all. You can snow on your log. So just a little bit of icing sugar in your sieve, and you can snow all over your scene. Right, children, I want photos online of your Yule logs.
Right, we're going to make a really quick cheesecake, and it's so simple. Even as Janet says with the children, they love doing that and getting messy. They'll enjoy doing this because it's so quick. All you need is some soft cheese, a little bit drop of vanilla, and a spoonful of icing sugar.
And a bit of jam.
And a bit of jam. And you put all the cheese, the icing sugar and the vanilla goes in your dish, and you just mix it all up. Got your jam. If your jam's a bit stiff, just put a little bit of water in it so it makes it a little sort of that consistency. So all you need is a spoonful of jam on your biscuit. Just swizzle it round. Don't be skinny with it. And then a spoonful of cheese on the top of the jam. There again, just press it out very carefully. And then it doesn't matter what fruit. We've got raspberries, but you can put blueberries, strawberries, whatever fruit you like, you can put on the top. And just put yourself some raspberries.
Yeah, quick and easy, aren't they?
So easy, so quickly. And if anybody pops round and you've got some digestive biscuits, I'll tell you that, packet of digestive. But if you like ginger biscuits, anything that's that shape, biscuit wise, you can make this on the top of. And then you just get a little bit of icing sugar.
And again, snow, it's best bit.
Snow it up, right. And there you go, and that's how simple they are to make. But so simple, and as I say, if you've got somebody comes round, if you've got the cheese and the biscuit in, so simple to do.
So you could make this in a big one, like
Yes,
a proper
oh, yes.
cheesecake, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
crush some ginger
Yes.
biscuits with some butter and press it into a base, and then just use this topping and raspberries, and it's a quick cheesecake dessert. Right, well, so that's our quick tips for Christmas and using up some leftover turkey on Christmas Day. I hope you enjoy. The recipes will be online soon. So if we don't see you, Have a
Have a nice
lovely Christmas.
And all the best.
And best wishes for 2022. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Bye.
Bye. Have a nice Christmas.